My script. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Hey, hello everyone. I'm Pancho. At batch 16B. What the heck am I doing here, diba? What do you guys think?
Well, what's here? Aislo?
The answer will be L, okay? The answer will be L. So this is a topic about how to become a better communicator as well, and to gaslight yourself, and to make better films. Even if you do not know a thing about film, at least you will learn something, how to be more persuasive, how to be a better communicator. I am not here really to teach you how to create an after movie. I'm not here to lecture you how to imitate documentaries, okay? I'm not here to give you a step-by-step guide, a blueprint on what to do for anything anong gagawin niyo dun. I'm here to enlighten you. And I enlighten you how to manipulate iClub's emotions to your favor, okay? I'm here to inspire you to make the very best output, not just after movies that you can make, okay? I'm here to ignite that spark in you that will burn in each and every one of you to create something that you will be proud of. Okay, so let's start first with the goal. So what are you doing? I would call this the onion. This is the onion, okay? There are layers in what we are doing, okay? So first, we make a documentary. That's the outermost layer. That's what most people just see. Like we're making a documentary to remember everything that has happened in anything. Then we go deeper. We create a public relations video, a recruitment video showing the honed talents of clubbers, diba? And then even deeper. Now we're trying to embolden people to become passionate, magnanimous, victorious clubbers. Yan. But we go even deeper than that. So now we try to get to the innermost core of what we do. We aim to connect, to understand and ultimately persuade people that this is what they can be and this is where they can be at their max potential. So at the very core of our mission today is the Trinity. There's three parts of the Trinity. Again, here. There's going to be empathy here. Empathy is what most people would think about after movies, right? So eliciting emotions. Okay? This is appeal to emotion where we are able to call to action listeners through positive and negative reactions. For example, in the Ewok 31 video, it starts off like this. How did you feel when it started like that, first 30 seconds? Yeah.
Nostalgic.
Nostalgic.
Chills.
Oh. Chills. Huge.
Hi.
Kind of. The beginning starts off as black screen, that's like logo, and then core, and then performers to a crowd entering, and then a crowd cheering, and then a crowd roaring, and then just a crazy crowd. That's like huddle. So my peaks that go up and up and up and up and up, that will elicit a kind of emotion that wells up from inside you, like whoa, ganun, diba? Especially paired with the music na I love when, diba? So that's an effective use of empathy. You want to make people feel like, oh, nadadala ka with everything, diba? So that's empathy. Next one is credibility. The most effective way to show this credibility is an interview with someone with their title. Makikita nila na, oh, this person is the tickets head. So now you're subconsciously realizing, okay, I have to listen to this person because what they say has to be credible. Okay? Coming from people who look like leaders, doesn't have to be actual leaders, who look like leaders, commanding or encouraging everyone with their gestures to do an action. So that's an implicit way of saying, oh, listen to me, okay? So it's also another way of engaging more people. The last one is rationality. Okay, we're back here, pero yeah. Rationality is the final piece of the puzzle. Okay? So it's an appeal to logic, where facts, evidence, statistics, and sound reasoning are used to support arguments and persuade the audience. The effective use of rationality with the other two, credibility and empathy, makes the entire argument more compelling because it acts like the glue that solidifies everything. If you listen to Ethan there, Ethan was giving his speech to Petra. He was laying it out all for us, even asking us who of us that year has its week as its first. So, syempre, maraming nagsabi, yes, it's me. And then he continued to state facts, including no two weeks are the same. And then this year we are going for the win, diba? So like first, you get the statistics verified by the clubbers themselves. Who's gonna first thing gonna raise your hands? Okay, they themselves gave the output. So the audience watching is like, okay, so it's true. No true endings are the same. That's true. And then we are going for the win. That's the argument. That's what will compel people like, oh yeah, that must be true, even though it's still just an argument. Diba? It's still a goal to reach for. So it acts like a battle cry that will help motivate everyone to go. And that's rationality in action. So you want to combine all of those together. So with that, you're able to combine make a very persuasive piece of communication. One that leverages emotional ties by sound logic with authority. So you have to always come back to this whenever we're making videos, editing, shooting, and everything. We have to realize that what will make the clubbers believe in it via logic? How about credibility? Who's talking? Who's acting? How about emotions? Like, is it really hype because everyone's happy, or is it really hype because we know the underlying meaning behind everything? So those are what we have to think about. So now we know what we are doing. Now we answer how we are doing it. So number 1, knowing your audience. We find out what our audience wants, but we don't give them exactly that. We give the audience what they need. Iba yun, okay? So 2020 was a very sour spot in our English history. So like a lot of people were not really enjoying it at that time. However, like we painted the story, the ending after movie like that, in a way where we made it look like they still experienced the most fun they had in their lives. Even though everything else happened here, I still painted it in a way that, oh, we lost really, but we won something better. So how do we want to do this? Simple. We first identify what the audience feels. Then after that, we want to feed clips and songs that cater towards those emotions. So now you know what they want. Now we give them what we need. What the audience needs is usually a new door to open. The next step, diba? So you want to do that by leaving a legacy. You want to show the audience that their actions left an impact on the org and onto others and even onto themselves. Okay? So you want to make them feel like what they did mattered. So again, knowing your audience, know what they want, understand what they need. Usually a path to what's next. Diba? So now, number 2. Now that we have declared that iClub will win next year, right? Yeah. We want to think of a way how we want to portray that glorious path to victory. So, what is our core message of the movie? These are the old org emblems for Amy. This was a Bakunawa, a legendary serpent trying to fight their way for the 30th win. This is a lionfish. This was the Kasanag Festival, so very fiery, very flamey. And then I think this was a wildcat. And then you guys know this one. What do they want to hear? What's the core message? Legendary serpents wanting to keep the streak alive? Or Terminators who discovered friends are my power? Or like the Greek goddess of passion who wants to claw their way back to the top of Mount Olympus? Parang ganun, right? I usually tailor the core message with these 3 questions really. 1, did we win? Easy. And then 2, what is a central idea or concept that's repeated over and over and over and over again throughout the English? And 3, yung org emblem. What was it? So EWOC 31's core message was going for the win. So for EWOC 32, what will it be this year? Diba? Manifest in your experiences in the future. So if let's say you're going for the 2P, an emblem is let's say a rocket. And then Ivan started to keep saying to infinity and beyond, something like that. Okay, so your message can be something like trailblazing a new path to the unknown yet again, something like that. And then you want to gravitate around with that message for thinking about the movie. So you have those three elements that I talked to you about a while ago, and now you have this core element that you want to truly emphasize and like dig deep into. This is going to be shown through the editing and how the tone is going to be, how excited it's going to be, how party it's going to be, the colors will look like, how you frame certain events that will happen. And one of the most important and most overt aspects of framing this would be your songs. So curating your songs is actually a very important aspect for after movies, and even for even for films and other videos as well, because they really set the tone. Like they know, like, oh, okay, it's gonna be more serious. Like, oh, it's pretty inspirational. Like, it will help give the general feel of the movie. So there's gonna be hype moments, chill moments, funny moments, engaging moments. So you want to develop a timeline, noting the key scenes, transitions. You guys remember this, naman? Like the key scenes, transition, emotional arcs, funny arcs, like this will help you identify where the music shall be placed. Like it can be used to build tension, evoke empathy, underscore dramatic moments, yada yada yada. So you want to pick a general genre or the style of videos that will fit your message the most. And maybe you'd like to get several songs from the same artist. Like for example, last year, Ewok 31 had 3 songs from one band, and the lyrics, most importantly, play an important factor to this. Like, even just one word will further the message even more. So for example, Rise Up was the second song used in Ewok 31. Ethan was saying, and we are going for the win. Let's go! Let's go! I would always open up the door, and then it start with all these action shots of people rising up to the occasion. Subliminally, you're making like, oh, I should also go rise up to the occasion, rise up to the challenge. Those are the things that you want to try and elicit, like those kinds of underhanded techniques that want to make sure people are listening, making sure that people connect with them. Okay. So make sure the themes and the music line up well, and you should be solid. So before my time, we had a DJ. We had an actual DJ in iClub, Marco Molina. So we just gave him like 20 songs, make something out of it, and then yun yung pinapakita nila sa Ewok 27, Ewok 28, those videos. This year can be different. You can just make your own songs. I don't know how to make really good tracks. Like I can't mix music, but at least I try to make them seem synergistic enough. So some of the tracks here, they have the same beats per second. So I want to keep it as even as possible. So even though it's lyrics 1 ends here, same beat, and then lyrics 2 starts in fact it seems seamless enough. There's not much jaggedness. You don't have to end the song, and then start up with a new one, which I still did in the videos, but at least it gives some pause to them. If you want to find ways to make it synergistic as well as possible, but also give ways for people to rest, because especially if it's going to be a long video, let's say my end video last year, which was nearly 30 minutes long. Of course, you don't want everyone to just be hyped up and pent up like that for the entirety of the movie. You want to have some release, some tension release. Ayun, so be open to changes though. Like for the Eng Week 2020 video, I started curating songs a whole year before Eng Week, and then we lost. So it's like we have to change everything. We have to change a lot of things. So I ended up changing lots of songs because they fit better with the themes of like redemption, or we're all winners, like that. So how do you know like if they fit or don't really fit much in the video? That's where you start creating your narrative. Each person here has a story, diba? Like Ivan has a story, Yush has a story. Every single clubber in this Eng Week will have a life of their own. Like emotions and feelings are what drive us. So what is that fuel? What's the fuel to that emotion? Why are they crying tears of joy even though they only got third? Yun pala, like, even entering the contest was such a big win for them. Not less being on podium, diba? Like suddenly, oh, now that we know the underlying meaning of that, it feels much more weighty. Like there's some more impact to them. Case in point, Emmy 2020. We had Lawrence Ragudo. This guy was the very best in what he does. I will read this word for word. He was core for 5 straight years. And that year was his final one. So, of course, a speech from him at the end of the video, I will quote, "Thank you talaga for all of us graduating na core. Manalo mano matalo. We're very proud of our organization." Close quote. It's a very big gut punch to the field, right? And not to mention, all of his scenes right here was slow-mo. Like, that's how you want to make a narrative, right? So, like, we have these character arc resolutions. These are what give your storytelling depth. So, what you want to avoid, like the plague, siguro, would be one-dimensional storytelling, where it's just describing what's happening on the screen. This is Week 2018. Nothing really happens much here, like emotionally in this level, because I didn't edit it. Yeah, I didn't edit it, but like most of the clips were taken by me. There wasn't as much oomph with this video. The original video was 15 minutes long of just the same old storytelling. Okay, happy clubbers, tired clubbers, excited clubbers, we won, yay! But there's no deeper meaning. We want to keep that emotional gut punch again. So yeah, there's no substance in one-dimensional storytelling. Like, who are each one of these people that we feature on the screen? Like, what's their story? Like, what is the hardship that they encountered? And for our purposes, how did they feel overcoming that? So in EWOC 31, I had this segment where I focused a lot of time on the interpretation scene. Diba? Of how Emma and Anna diba? How Emma and Anna went through the experiences of not knowing what to expect and somehow winning, diba? Like, I remember, like, I was there when Mark, you Emma were talking, deciding last minute submission deadline or mag-late na lang tayo. And like you deciding to like blitz the director's note, tama ba? Yeah, the director's note in like 5-10 minutes, di ba? Like, those were not captured on video. I don't have them on video. Like, I was there, di ba? Sayang, pero... But because I was the cameraman, like, I knew how, what the fuck, it was for them to find out that they won. They got their individual awards. Like, to a regular person, it will seem weird. Like, we dedicated 2 minutes of our video for this team. Like, why? It's because like they are our target audience. Like, they themselves will be thrilled, and like this will deepen their emotional attachment to the org. Like at that moment, and then you want to create memorable moments for your audience. And for them, I'm pretty sure it's like, oh, it's me. Oh yeah, I remember that story. Like, you want to keep repeating that over and over again. Not too much, but like, a lot of them, like, it will give them an extra oomph. An extra gut punch, like, oh, yeah. Other moments, pretty sure alam niyo yung basketball scenes na haba-haba, isang buong song. Normally, I don't give them more than a verse. This year, I gave them an entire song. So it shows them, like, lots of clubber players getting bruised and beaten, diba? Like, that shows the trials and tribulations that they faced, and illustrated how the road to the goal was not very easy, diba? The road to goal was not easy. So you had the declaration in Jam's interview that we'll try our best. We'll do. There's lots of pressure and in representing and playing for iClub. So and then you have him chant iClub win at the end. It's more like a dream to catch at that moment in time. So then you get an entire song's worth of basketball plays one after the other. Like just fast break, blocks, 3-point shots, layups, and then like somewhere around the middle of the song, a lot of them start becoming more contested. Like a lot of people are trying to block more. Like some shots are going in, but after a second rebound, a second chance rebound. Lots of loose ball fights, Then you get to the bridge of the song where it shows a dark circumstance. Last second ball game. Seconds on the clock. People falling down in pain. Someone drafting up last second plans, and then suddenly an encouraging chant saying, AJ, ang pogi mo! So yeah, to a basketball player watching it, maybe they didn't realize it themselves, but they're like, oh, we can do it. We can do it. We can do it. So this is the bridge. This is the second part of the video. Suddenly everything's much more contested. It's getting harder and harder to shoot the shots. I hope so. Like lots of more block shots. Now we're setting more plays up. Loose ball fight. Like you want to still win, you still want to keep going. This is the kind of emotional build-up you want to keep going up to. This is the narrative. Loose ball fight. Toss it. Quick. Yeah. AJ with the winning layups. Emotional. Narrative. Last seconds. Everyone's dying. Like, pagod. In pain. Okay, we have to do this, guys. Let's fight for it. Let's keep fighting for it. Yeah. Lastly, let's go. Let's do this. Daming blocks. Very contested, very hard. Let's go. Okay. Last second. That's 7 seconds. You know how this ends. So, how do we want to make this? Find your subjects. It can be a group or a single person. Understand their situation. Learn their strengths, weaknesses, and frame their problems in a way that it's easy for the viewer to understand. You want to film how they overcome this. It can be off-screen, it can be on-screen. And then you celebrate with them, like you show them like how when they're crown champions or when we won, or ganun. So an easiest perspective is usually seen sa heads ng org at this moment. So like core, execom, they're usually scrambling to find someone to help them. And when it all turns out great, like they can find rest easy, diba? I'm sure you know this, right? So like in the entirety of the Ewok 31 video, like you saw Ethan going around and rounds, encouraging clubbers in the video through inspirational messages. Yeah, that's how he is. Like internally, he's also like, okay, guys, ano nang gagawin natin? Like, he's very worried internally. Like, of course, he doesn't want to show it outwardly. I mean, that's one way he's a good leader. That he doesn't want to show it outwardly. And then you see it crack at the very end of the video. At the very end of the video, there was an interview of credits. Like, guys. At the end of the credits, we hear his true thoughts, his strength and anxiety. Who do I get for a core? And then after that, so now you know him, you know his subject, you know the subject, you know his problems, his strengths, his weaknesses, and everything like that. So now, how we want to do this is we want to show his situation, his problem. I didn't know who to pick for core. Oh, suddenly there's a problem, even though it's the credits na. Like, oh, there's a problem. And then after that, we interpose shots of him, like with his happy and very effective core. Diba? Everyone's happy. So like, you want to share that experience with them, and then that's how he overcame it. He overcame it out of screen, but at least you see the effects of it. That's a quick and easy art for like a very emotionally strong event. I'm pretty sure if you ask Ethan about it, he'll say, "Oh, that's nice." And so find your subjects, understand them, and then shoot them. Okay. So next one is storyboarding. In a documentary, You really want to plan out things ahead, okay? You want to break your story into scenes, or in my case, songs. Okay? You want to know what to have in each segment. Do this, create sketches like this, like sketches, and make notes on how the creative shots will be. Okay? When I did a list of my cool, iconic shots that can only be done in preparation, I thought about this one. Do you guys remember this scene? This is Carla Lavia's bowling shot. It is a 360 camera video. So I had him hold the camera here and bowl it with the 360 camera. That's how you leave this kind of shot. It lasts for 3 seconds max, but it's a very good transition between scenes. So that's more technical. So you want to establish your perspective, your composition. Ano yung camera angle mo? Will it be from here? Will it be from there? Will it be like there? Will it be a 360? Would you want a drone up there? And then how you want to transition from scene to scene. Film people, you know the importance of making it from scene A to scene B to make it as seamless as possible. Cuts, pans, dollies, rotates. Just write them all down in your storyboard as much as possible, and then from there on, you can at least work towards that. You can at least plan it out. For the most part, usual key shots from huddles, like everyone's hands. That's the usual important shot. Like you want block shots, basketball, all of those. Slow motion, very dramatic. It makes it more dramatic. So you want to plan your transition scene by scene. This is my 2020 after movie line per line storyboard. So like this song was fire. So this is my general notes. Like this is what we kind of want to see, and the general shots of what each line is gonna be. Right? The cool shots here: basketball, volleyball gun, sporty ones. Usually, celebration sa chorus now, and then verse repeats, chorus repeats. Yeah, you can see here. The first line is going to be the clock sa tambayan. It fades transition into the court clock. The second line here, it's going to be Clubber cheering with the logo. So ito yung logo like, pero slow motion para to fit it all in that one. The third line is going to be the team patting for like, let's go guys, may huddle, may ganun. And then so on and so forth. You see like how at least you can have a general idea of what it's going to look like. Even though it's not going to be very scripted, you can't script anything in a documentary. It's very hard to do that. But at least you know the general idea, so at least you're prepared to do it. If you want quick cuts from player to the crowd, you may want like whip your camera like that. So like, let's say there's a loose ball down there. So you're shooting it down, and then they pass it off frame immediately. You whip that, stop recording, and then you start recording another scene, play, coming from a whip, So it feels like you're moving with the ball. You're moving with the subject. You want to keep it like a logical movement as well. It also helps in storytelling in the technical aspect. Yeah, this was the slow motion video sa Ewok 30. This is dodgeball. So it is very cool now to see this slow motion like gumaganon sila. Like it makes it look cool that they dodged it so well. Oh yeah, this is our jamming win last year. We're going back to jamming because it's an important one for storytelling. So ball to ball, jamming people. Now we're in jamming. Colors are like that. Now jamming crowd, jamming practice. Now it's the jamming people. Hey, let's go, let's do this guys. Camera flash right to the blinding lights. And then blue to blue. You want it to be as seamless as possible. Like even if there's no technical transition, make it a logical transition. Ball to other ball, flash to light, blue scenes to blue scenes. So of course, visual effects. Kung meron kayo, remember Street Fighter? I had fight. If you notice, like the black bars appear to be more cinematic. That adds an extra like, zoom into that. And then at the very end, I love you win. Yay! It helps. It adds a lot to your storytelling, especially if you storyboard it beforehand. However, like lots of things will probably not go your way. This was 2016, where we won first or second in every single night event. This is a very impromptu shot for them because they were like, "Oh, we won. We might as well do something important, something cool like this." So they had the scene na they're weaving through all of the trophies. They added that scene. Like unplanned shots are 90% of my after movie. Even theirs, they said 80 to 90%. It's usually like that because after movies like ours tend to have very spontaneous moments. You always kind of want to keep recording everything. For true documentaries, you don't want to do that all the time because you just use up so much film storage. But in order to at least anticipate this, you want to familiarize yourself with the day events and night events. So for example, for the night events, in Dakan, it's just a 3 to 5 minute dance. Might as well memorize the dance. Like, ano yung pasabog moments nila? So if let's say dancer A does like just that, and then like they were lifted up like that, you might as well like practice doing that, or at least go to their practices, like trying them out doing it like that. It helps a lot in the actual thing that, oh, my muscle memory for that. Like, my pasabog dito, and then, diba? You want to, like, you can win like that. Really well. Not everything is going to plan, but at least you know what to expect. And that's very important in familiarizing yourself there, especially for night events. And decide whether you want to stay in this position or do you want to go to behind that wall. Do you want to go to that ledge? You might as well do it now. You have to ask permission now, or just don't get caught. But again, you just go there as soon as possible. Just prepare as much as possible. At least you can go there if you need to. Familiarize yourself with the lighting, with the venue's lighting a lot, especially if it's very dark. Which leads us to our next point: coordinating with core. So core is your friend. They know almost everything that's happening in the org most of the time. So they know everything. Like when the practices are, what are the events, how much will the tickets be, how many players are there, who's there, like how large a crowd do we have. Like these are important information that can be directed to core. At least they kind of know a general idea of, okay, there's probably these people there. Sila yung nandun. Papunta si this one with the driver, sumama ka na rin doon. Like, those are the extra things you need to know. At least more information. It's easier for you to plan ahead. If you're shy, well, I only knew Ethan last year when I revived myself. So don't be afraid to ask, to make friends. Just be sure that you can also help them out as well. But don't forget, winning takes priority over the afternoon. Okay? So focus on those important things that happen first. Like if the president needs to go to the toilet, find one. Doesn't matter if you miss a scene, you need him to be there. But yeah, so get your phone numbers, befriend them on Facebook, respect their no replies. Usually, they're much more exhausted than you. Okay, let's go to the logistics. What do you need? Some cameras. These are action cameras, GoPros, 360 cameras, mga ganun. Some phones shoot better than cameras nowadays. If you have, most people won't. If you have a second camera, you might as well put it on a tripod. At least you have a second viewing angle. So if you're here, at least there's another camera there that shows a wide angle view. That means you can zoom in a lot more close-up shots like that. Or have a team. At least you two can coordinate with each other. Like, okay, ako yung sa wide angle, so you don't have to worry about close-up. So that I don't have to worry about close-ups. And all the second person has to do is close-ups. And then the third person may be like, okay, draw the crowd. How like, rambunctious they are. Like, you want to like delegate a task, or if you don't have a team, sadly, just have more cameras. Extra batteries, charger, of course. You cannot live without those. Optional stuff, tripod, stability, and for interviews, if any. Microphones, very important because band audio is really hard to edit. Portable and rechargeable video lights are very important. Remember the rectangular light I always use? It helps illuminate the scene, like especially if it's 12 midnight after smokers. How are you going to film that? So I had the video light, at least you can see what's happening. If maubos yung light, get everyone to whip out their phone camera lights, at least it helps illuminate the scene a lot more. Lighting makes it a lot more cinematic sometimes. Next one would be technical. If you have money, stabilizers. But it's fine if you don't. If you have your IDs, you can pull it out, put your camera there, put your thumb there, and your camera or phone on the other hand. So, yeah. So, I'll do this. Thumb like this, camera or phone like this. It's actually really steady to be like this. There's lots of tension here. So it's actually really stable if you keep moving around like that. It's actually really steady. And if you have money, get those other things.
What's a shoulder?
Shoulder is yung you put it on your shoulder, like a tripod on your shoulder, so that you're the one moving it. You're moving it as one motion. Walang extra motion like that. And then of course, drones. Your computer. Anything is a pain if you don't have lots of RAM. I have 8 gig RAM, it's not good enough usually, but at least it works. Storage, I have 6 hard drives for iCloud. Yeah, don't worry, that is fine, because at least you guys still have your UP mail. As I said before, I've had 15 terabytes worth of files in my UP mail. Next aspect is tickets. Buy every single one of them. If you can do that, ask for nicely. Okay? But really, if you can't enter an event, you're kind of screwed. You can't really video an event if you don't have tickets for. Coordinate your tickets head and reserve them. If you cannot go but you have a ticket, give it to core. At least they can give it to someone else na, like who's there in the line now who doesn't have a ticket. Timeline. Last year we had all of this, diba? Use this as your phone lock screen. It will help immensely, especially if start na ba yung dice gaming? Okay, di na. Instead of start pa dice gaming, okay, a messenger sa cutie clubbers or sa no reply. It's much faster to see it immediately. Okay, done. Like that. Especially very more time-intensive events. Important one, transportation. If you have a car, that's very great. Most of the time, however, you'd want to be as mobile as possible. How are you going to get from CS Amphi to Eng within 5 minutes? Diba? It's really hard to just run. You can do that. I've done that before. It's not recommended. If you have friends who are drivers or who have drivers of their own, coordinate with them a lot. Okay? Because the most important thing is for you to get to your location as soon as possible. Which leads me to my last point. You should get some friends. That's self-explanatory. If you have friends, you know your core audience. You know what they want. You can at least connect to them more. Like, again, last year I didn't know anyone except for Ethan and a few people. But now after the experiences, shared experiences, I can call, let's say, Ivan, my friend, diba? So now I understand what he likes, what he needs. We go back to the start of the lecture. Don't give them what they want, give them what they need, diba? So with being friends, at least there's more time to understand each other, and now you know what your target audience needs. Next part, be everywhere. I glossed it over a while ago, but be everywhere. It's really more for the core to say, okay, guys, this is the game plan for today. Win everything. Okay, let's go. 7, I got win. Do not worry. If you can't go to every single one of these events, have a team. Have a team or have people who are there, let's say N-men or non-players who are just there, or just people who are just cheering, record sa cameras nila, on their phone cameras. It's at least something, diba? It's very important to at least have like these things. So, ayun, delegate tasks. Yeah, there were 2 of us, so at least that was fine. Last year, there was only 1 of me, but I had the most free schedule at that time, which leads me to hacking CRS. Okay, this is very important. Nowadays, maybe not so much, because you want to keep your schedule as clean as possible in this area. Why? Because most of the naming events are in this area. 2023, I had 6 units, so konti lang din. But yeah, here, usually Mondays have one or two big events now. So it's fine to like give it to someone else, and then meanwhile you have all of it there. This for this example one, like this is a 7 a.m. class. At least ganun lang. The entire time here you can tambay. This is for the tryhards. So di na kailangan. For the really dedicated ones. So you want to keep your cuts intact as much as possible. Because in case, let's say, nalagay ka sa roster unexpectedly, and then walang tao, you have to be there. At least may cut ka in case everything bad happens, okay? So how about ACADS? Well, my response is, college is the best time of your life. Go extend it,
Yes, extend.
You do not want to see these grades, huh? 5. No, you do not want to see this. Focus on your ACADS. I'm telling you now, focus on your ACADS. Ito na yung technical part. Shooting. How do you want to shoot your camera? Very easy, okay? Stance, ready. Camera, steady, okay? So you always want it to be steady, like you don't want to get pushed around. So if you want, you can like bend your knees kung mas stable ka doon. If you want to do it, okay, at least stable ka. If you want to get on the floor, at least stable ka. When you're moving, pace is steady, and you want to focus your priority sa focus. You don't want to get out of focus all of the time, okay? An out of focus video is not good. You can't really use it. Okay? If you want to zoom in, but out. Okay? And then zoom out, you step out, you step back. That's the basic gist of it. So if let's say zoom in, but out. Zoom out, step out. Moving, steady. Like you're making sure your focus is always steady. And then kapag basic shot lang, just be as power stance as possible. Make sure that it's very steady. That's the basics. That's all you need. If you want more actual technical part of that, you can ask me later. Ask permission from organizers, especially if you're going somewhere or planting a camera in a precarious spot. So 2020 pala, almost all of our night events are in Ateneo, sa Urban Theater. So for some reason, I was placed in the balcony sa top, and I had the gall to go run down the stairs in between in the dark, plant a camera on stage because I asked nicely, run back up within the 1 minute I was given, and then get ready to shoot. I can only do that if I had permission. That's why I want to be there early. I want to be in the events early. At least you can convince some people like, I'm going to do this very risky thing. Let me do it. I won't disturb you. At least now they know that do not block me. Yeah. Those are the important things you want to know to make sure that, oh, I have a camera from there. Oh, besides I have a camera from up here as well. You want to plan this out as much as possible. So that's mostly a tip for the night events, but for some day events like cosplaying, you also want to go in front of the judges even. If you're in doubt, just ask a court member to, pwede ba dyan? So now you have your clips. Let's go to editing, okay? So, post-production deserves a seminar on its own, honestly. Like, at least you can kind of guess the base start of clipping, cutting, syncing it to the music, videos right size, timing the clips to the beats of the song, a few motion graphics, so meron kayo, color text, color and sound is very important, very underrated as well. So I recommend you to listen to professionals. YouTube is fine for that. What I am confident now about is subliminal messaging in editing, aka propaganda. So propaganda is the deliberate and systematic dissemination of information, ideas, or opinions, often with a biased or misleading nature, to influence the thoughts, beliefs, and actions of a target audience. It can be used for various purposes, including promoting a particular political ideology, product, or cause. Propaganda techniques can range from persuasive communication to manipulative tactics, and they are often designed to appeal to emotions and biases to achieve a specific outcome. I use this a lot. So these are the concepts I used last year. There were a lot, actually. I will briefly explain some of them, okay? But we don't do the negative aspects, by the way. We don't do the negative propaganda. That's not the right way. That's not the IE way, okay? Don't do that, okay? Do the right thing only. Yeah. So, 1, appeal to authority. Relying on the endorsement or expertise of a respected figure to support an argument. That's kind of easy. Like, you have the key the key performers who introduce nila. Like, they share their expertise in that. That's an easy way to show appeal to authority. Bandwagon. Encouraging someone to adopt a belief or behavior because it's popular or widely accepted. So, an example would be course invitation saying it's the best part of your college career. Diba? It's trying to joining core. It's really fulfilling. That's the bandwagon. You're trying to convince people to go do that, and then you see people that say like, yeah, tama, right? That's the way you want to hook the people there. Beautiful people. What does this mean? Have your most handsome and most beautiful people there. Attractive individuals endorsing a product or idea. It's really effective, actually. Get the most beautiful and handsome people in frame, because this implies that that participating in Engage leads to being as attractive as they are. And then, next, classical conditioning, associating a stimulus to a response or to a specific behavior. The lyrics of the song, rise up. Now, I want to rise up. Diba? So, like, you want to pair song lyrics with scenes of clubbers actually doing it or symbolically doing it, creating an association between the two, between the sound and the desire for emulating it, for joining the or Cult of personality. Exaggerating the virtues of a leader to gain loyalty and devotion. So, you have Ethan always shown as an infallible person, diba? In most of the video. And then this makes them extraordinary in the face of all these problems of adversity. Like just by showing someone a strong figure, like, I want to follow that person. Like you kind of want to keep adding those kinds of stuff. Euphoria, creating an exaggerated sense of happiness or well-being to manipulate emotions. Easy. Happy clubbers in the video, these are happy clubbers watching the video. Flag waving is the most used one I have. Anything and everything that has iClub logos or anything, iconography like that always directs them back to, okay, it's iClub. Oh, it's iClub. Oh, iClub won. Oh, iClub wins. Yeah. There's always that next level thing. It's associating all of these feelings to the order. The latitudes of acceptance, identifying the range of beliefs that an audience is willing to accept. So interviewees are gradually introducing new concepts or new ideas. So like when Ethan says, we just have to give it our all, but now we have to do a +1. So now +1, must mag-hook on people. Like, we want to keep going even more than what we thought. Loaded language, using emotionally charged or biased words to influence perception. So, I even said in the start of the video, like Ewok mentality. What does that mean? But what does it evoke in yourself? It's like giving the best that you can do. It's really loaded when you think about it. Like what does the Ewok mentality really mean? It's like a grind mindset, like cherish it like it's your last. Now you have some sort of sense of desperation. Like, now I have to do it. Milieu control, exerting influence over an individual's environment and social interactions. This is very subtle, but the entire video has one red hue over everything. So now it's kind of red. I thought. But my next one. Next, repetition. I love win. You hear that a million times in the videos. At least I love always wins. I love win. I love win. I love win. Quotes out of context. selectively using quotes to distort intended meaning. So remember sa end ng video, like I had like Indakan saying na, we knew it's gonna be hard, but we knew it was coming. It was really coming, that we were going to win. But in the video, I framed it so that she's not talking about Indakan, but she's talking about English as a whole. So I kind of like took that out of context and placed it there. But it adds more emotional depth to that moment. It was like, oh, right, that's nice. Slogans, I love Win Chance, madali na yun. And the testimonials, interviews. So master these and you can become a very influential content creator. Yeah. Ayan. So these are how to subliminally get people to listen to you, to buy into your argument. This is how you want to connect to your core audience. It may seem underhanded, but it actually, if you do it for the right things and then you're doing the positive ones only, at least it's gonna do well. Anyway, last one is test audience. Okay. What I always do is I show it to one person, one lucky person in the org or that I can trust that they will not share it to everyone else. So like every year I have like some people who I chose na, hey, check this out. Is it fine? Give me your honest thoughts. Ayan. So for EWOC 30, I gave Nika the honors. So she just said everything good. Okay. The next year, Cyrus. Amazing job. This year, si Jude, he's like, oh, this is a very different approach, but I think it was really amazing how you did it. You want to make sure that, okay, you're listening, you're giving your audience a chance to give feedback. But is there something else you want to add to your video? They're the ones who can truly appreciate the meticulous details into the video, and they can be the most emotionally targeted. And then once you have one person to do it, it's easy to somewhat generalize that. Okay, most people will feel the same. So at least with that, you can understand how it's going to go. Lastly is presentation. Presentation means it's going to be the presentation of the actual video the first time around. So you want it to be the most conducive for your viewing experience, no matter what kind of video it will be. So if it will be something more documentary feeling, more inspirational, you'd want everyone to be seated, dark room and everything, good lights and sounds and everything. Everyone's ready, parang treat like going to the movies. If it's something more of a party, like all music video songs, then yeah, people can just be going around drinking while you're showing the video. That's fine. You have to match the vibes as well. So you have to make sure that it's much less emotional. Let's say the lights are on and then now we're watching a video. Like you can't really see some of the small details that you might see if, let's say, you treat it like going to the movies. Okay? So that's all 14 aspects. I will share with you this time. If you want more advice, ask me anywhere here. Send a friend request first Facebook because I will probably ignore you if you don't. These were the 3 videos that I really made, like editing, everything. And then EWOC 29, I was the one who supplied most of the videos. Any questions?
Publicly available.
They're all on YouTube. They made everything else apart from EWOC 31 is unlisted. So just ask it to me directly. The previous ones, like EWOC 28 and 26 below, are lost time. Because they uploaded it to Vimeo and Vimeo died. So, but I'm pretty sure someone in the alumni have the original copy. I just can't find it myself. So ano pang questions? Directory. I've been trying to make a directory for the longest time. Like it's hard to find it. I was actually happy that I got EWOC 29 and 27. I was like, oh, I found them. Any questions?
Wait, may question ako isa. Go. Kanina pa to, yung first point pa to. Gano'n ka-extensive ng documentation mo during planning stage?
For film festival.
Actually, oo. Kasi...
Knowing your audience, how ba? Ito ba? Or yung sa empathy?
I think second. Yung how. Nag-start sa how. Like,
How?
Yeah.
So, like how are you doing it?
Gano'n ka parang extensive yung planning mo? Especially na after movie.
Okay.
In terms of
Okay.
documentary.
Especially sa storyboarding, I think that's
Yeah.
that's point. The storyboarding, nakita niyo naman yung how line per line I made it sa yung line per line my ideas. Okay. I did this a week before a week after I finalized the songs. Like, I was sure na, okay, these are the songs I kind of want to make sure na they're gonna be there. And then, I look at the entire list of the events. So, back then, mas maraming events. Ngayon, mas konti na. Back then, maraming events. So, I can like, dedicate 1 or 2 lines or a verse for one event or one kind of event. And then, I just nagpapalitan lang from event A, B, C, D. Pero same verse lang. How long it took me? A day? Like a day's worth of just making sure na each
24 hours.
not 24 hours, one day, one work day. Ayan, parang like, I did one song every hour, just to be sure, like, okay, I wanted to, like, let's start Riot Tonight. Okay, that's the start of the bridge, I think yung bridge. So I kind of, like, the bridge is going to have this kind of feel. Choruses are going to be practices. Bridge is going to be, you're there, right about to perform or right about to act. And then chorus is usually like either A, playing, or B, or A, playing and performing, or B, celebrations. Usually more ganun, like celebrations like, oh, we did it, or oh, we got first, whatever. Usually ganun yung storyboarding ko. Ayan, hindi na naman dito, like, first line. Clock sa tambayan. Ever since the dawn of mankind, then there's a crossfade there between the two lines. I think I can show it.
Grabe yung pamisa.
Ganun. All belong to a tribe, so kasi parang it kind of follows the each scene per scene. Like if you'll see naman na each scene, I also edited afterwards saying that, okay, it's gonna be like this. I originally planned like this. I'm gonna edit it, and then, okay, instead of, let's say, fifth line, chemistry meaning yung, magaling sila mag-pass with each other. Instead of chemistry, make it like fast break na lang because wala akong masyadong chemistry shots, or in this case, keeping it for a later portion, for an earlier portion. Ganun yung line per line ko. Pero as I said, 90% of my after movie is kind of unplanned. So I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna shoot everything. I suggest not to do that, but if you felt like me na, okay, I feel like I should shoot everything because I'm not sure if I can capture everything yet. This is my first one na ako yung editor, so I didn't know really how I wanted to craft the story yet. So I wanted to make sure I had backup shots of everything. Kaya, yun nga, I have several hard drives for that. I can delete them now. Pero ayun, ganun yung thinking ko on this. Siyempre, for you guys, you can also make it more like this. This is the best part, if you can do that. Best if you have a team, if you can do that, go with it. Kaya ako, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do line per line, just have a general idea in my head. Kasi,
Ikaw din naman editor.
ako naman editor, so hindi ko naman kailangan ito.
Yeah.
Ako naman susunod. Those kinds of shots, you go down. If you can at least plan for these kinds of shots, like you can, hey Pancho, can I borrow your 360 camera for this one shot? Okay, sure. Yeah, that's how I storyboard it. It's kind of vague here. Like this is the general vibe per part. Before the song, Kasi there's like, parang an intro na instrumental lang. Yun, like, nagsiset up pa lang lahat. And then, so mas getting ready, more preparation pero mas practice na, mas upbeat na yung pag-practice. Usually ito mga landscape shots, mga background B-rolls shots lang, mga ito yung mga bags dito ng maraming tao. Ito yung mga shoes nila. Ito yung mga tao. But yeah, I will look forward to seeing you in NU 2024. Okay? Okay? So, when I was first given this task, I was like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Because this was like, I cannot possibly hold a candle to these older videos. But with practice, encouragement, and a lot more practice, like, I think I was able to beat the odds. This was originally the brainchild of Clubber Alumni Angelo Montero. I'm not sure what batch he was in. And then it was passed down through Ewok legends. It was Bea Cuadra, Rami Biernas, first Obcom VP Lily Santos, former President Toby Gagayco, and then Toby gave it to me. So, I have left my legacy for iClub with these videos. Hopefully, it's your turn now. Well, it's not me anymore, so it is to be your turn now. So go out there and leave your mark. And embrace this journey, for it's your path to your extraordinary legacy. Thank you. Yeah. And then, zoom in, but out. Okay? And then zoom out, you step out, step back. That's the basic gist of it. So if let's say, zoom in, but out. Zoom out, step out. Moving,